Good morning to Michael, my brother Mikey, John. Good morning, sir. Triangle Trading Floor. The top three of our community is in, and I'm proud and I'm happy for you guys. Welcome. We got some good stuff coming your way. I was just a little late because I was listening to Donald Trump talking at Davos, and of course that made me a little tardy. I'm wearing a T-shirt that Victorio gave me, and I'm starting to think that he doesn't like me based on this T-shirt because it's a Crip T-shirt. So seize up. Wait, how is it? I don't know. I'm not gonna do anything. Don't catch me with that hand signal stuff. It's a cool shirt. It's Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P. I actually love the shirt. Thank you, Vicky. Let's get started today. We have a few things on the calendar to talk about. First and foremost, it is January 21st. And futures are up. S&P's up a little bit. NQ's down a little bit as well. Russell also just a tiny little wee bit off of the close. But, you know, not good at all. Netflix is down 5.6% pre-market. Really bad outlook for the company. And it paused buybacks for Warner Brothers with their acquisition to buy the company. Right? So that's not good. It's a tech play. It's not AI-based. It's not any cloud-based infrastructure company, but it is a streaming giant, and it didn't do very good at all. All right, gold is back at a record high of 4,888. We're coming into 5,000 level for gold. It's unavoidable. It's probably happening in the next couple weeks. All right, copper is up 1.1%. The dollar is flat this morning at about 98.70. Still below the 100-day moving average too, so weaker dollar. And what else do we have here? We have a CPI number out of the UK. That's at 3.4% versus 3.3 expected. So it's kind of heating up in the UK. It's not a US report, but it is from the UK, and you know, inflation's ticking up there. So you're putting on a little bit of expectation for what's going to happen in the US on our next CPI report. But we do have tomorrow the PCE, which is really, really important, and key data that's coming out tomorrow morning. Crude oil is down 0.8% today. And last but not least, the big event of the day, the big risk event, is Trump at Davos. He's currently speaking at the moment. I was going to not skip this morning market update, but start a little bit later, maybe even skip it because we should be listening to what he's saying. But honestly, he's not going to reveal anything massive at the World Economic Forum. You know what I mean? But his comments are kind of sending some waves. So far, not really much market impact. He's talking about Greenland. He said, "Do you want me to talk about Greenland? I was going to leave it off the speech." I was going to leave it off the speech. But if you want... No, I'm kidding. But my Donald Trump's not that good unless I really try. And it's like, I either sound like a fool. If I really try, it's pretty good. Okay, so... yeah, he talked about Greenland. He said every country has the right to defend itself. He went into some history with Europe and Germany, and he said that nobody could take over Greenland. He has respect for Greenland and Denmark. However, no nation or group is in any position to secure Greenland except for the U.S. So, commentary there. He talked about GDP. Donald Trump so far. I'm just looking at the notes. I have to go really close because they're small. I clipped them from the news platform. He said some places in Europe are not recognizable, wants to see Europe go good. Green energy focus and migration has hurt Europe. China is making windmills for green energy but isn't selling any of them, or is selling them but doesn't have any of them at home. Anyway, all this commentary, nothing really market specific. All interesting stuff nonetheless for world developments, and I turned my back to this. I'll check in a minute for the updated stuff to see if there's anything that's a market mover. All right, on trade and tariffs, U.S. trade rep Greer says he's in good spot with China, may meet Chinese counterparts before April. So that's really positive that they're getting some kind of agreement. It's starting to push forward. And then Donald Trump reaffirms also, he says revenue can replace income tax. It's an option that's on the table. All right, let's turn around. Let's look at the charts. Politics and news aside. It's time to set the trading plan. Yeah, no, for real. Trump is like, I don't like Nipsey Hussle, and I don't like this Fear of God collaboration with Nipsey Hussle. So I'm going to take down the markets and everyone with it. Morning, Prashant. Sam, good morning. Marco, welcome back, buddy. Oh, I have to tell you about something else too. Do you see a little banner down here? Look, my fingers are walking on it. It's a pretty weird demonstration. So that banner basically saying that we're having a webinar February 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern. I formally and officially would like to invite you to it. Link is in the description. We're going to be talking about order flow execution in the real time, and huge opportunity for us to have a workshop. It's my first one back in 2 years. I'm jam-packing it with value, and I think you're going to love it. I invite you to be there. The link is in the description. We already have 130 people registered. It didn't go out more than 24 hours ago, and it's a good response considering we have almost 3 weeks to get to the event. Zoom does have a limitation to the number of seats, not the registrations like some people market it, but it does have actually a limit. But I'll upgrade the plan if I have to. But still get there, okay? I'd love to see you there. February 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern. All right, time for the trading plan. I don't know, Knowledge Seeker. I don't know. There's a lot I can't answer about that. I don't understand sometimes myself. I'm not privy to that level of data. All right, let's talk about the trading plan and the story. All right, let's talk about the story first. You guys know that when I do trade, I like to start with the story. Hang on. I just saw market move. Let me see what's going on. 1 second.
Connected to multi-asset channel.
What's something said? U.S. President Trump says he's seeking immediate negotiations to discuss the acquisition of Greenland. This is not a threat to NATO. It would enhance the alliance. So,
I'm just speaking in relation to about NATO, should I say. Trump notes he will not use force. Just speaking about NATO, he says he will not use force.
Hey, that's kind of nice. That's a de-escalation. Did you guys hear that? I mean, the mic was blaring. It happened in real time. He said he would not use force with respect to Greenland. He would negotiate it. He won't use force against NATO. So that's very de-escalatory.
All he asked for is Greenland. He said all they asked for is a place called Greenland.
Bro, this guy is a troll. It's so funny. He's like, I will not use force. All I ask for is this little place called Greenland. No, that's a de-escalation. No, it's positive. So that does change your plan a little bit. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the story for the U.S. Yesterday, we opened at 68.72 3/4. All right, that was the opening price. We had a little bit of a rally. We got right into our 88 to 90 resistance. We hit it twice. Some members shorted the first time. I got the trade the second time on the continuation down. We broke the open, but something very peculiar happened in yesterday's session. I saw really big MBO data all the way up at 1/2. I'm talking about a couple hundred lots lined up waiting. This is when we're trading the 71. So it's a 31-point rally from here. So on the team, I think we're going to go and swipe that liquidity. I think we got a buy stop run before we get overly bearish. So all these downside plays were great. They were at a key level. They were very well timed, exactly how we had planned them. But just based on the MBOs, like, we're going to probably go up there, swipe that liquidity, and then head lower. All right, and that's exactly what ended up happening. We went in there, thank goodness the MBO revealed that information. That's why I follow MBO data. We went in there, we hit it, and then we sold off quite promptly. We went down into the prior day low of 68.22 quarter. It's a big sell-off. That was a continuation wave we looked for. And then on the rebound, we managed to only get 10 points higher to the 33 quarter to the prior day cash close, which is yesterday's close. All right, so all in all, bearish day, bearish extension day. We moved lower. We got the trade at the perfect level, and we were triggered on the MBO data to look higher first before lower. Many times, if the day's going to go lower, we move higher first because markets don't sell off from lows. They sell off from highs because you need a lot of buyer participation to start offloading big size onto people. All right. So the next thing that I want to talk about is a story for the overnight session, and then I'll give you the trading plan. And it's just honestly slightly changed this last little bit. U.S. has got nothing from NATO. All we are asking for is to get Greenland. Golden Dome is going to be deciding Canada. He won't use for okay, whatever. I had to see it because I hate when there's like a big speech like this and I'm on live. I'm kind of forced to be pulled into it in real time, you know. All right. The overnight play is the overnight story is this rally off of the close. Okay, I'll answer your questions as well, guys. Rally off of the close. We go to the overnight high at 68.58 half. That's where we form it. Then we sell off pretty brisk to the downside. The overnight low is 14.5, which is now below the prior day low, which is also below the cash close of the previous day. But it doesn't hold as we rally up on Donald Trump's speech back to the overnight high. So normally, what I was going to tell you is the trading plan is the trend is down, all right, but starting to feel overextended. It's starting to feel too easy to be short and to be looking for short positions, all right? I'm going to be honest with you. It is. And I had this written before Donald Trump went and said that he's looking to take Greenland peacefully, which is a de-escalation, which puts a bid into the market. So after I put in the notes, here, I'll show you the notes. We can read them together. Okay, I do these in the morning time. So the trading plan is the trend is down, but starting to feel overextended. After gap lower Sunday reopen, we've been offered lower. We've seen that much like of the week, really, so far. And I said, I think today we can see more two-way trade, a little bit more balanced, a little more chop. A rally up of 15 points followed by a sell-off by 20 points. A rally up by 25, one of those type of days. But we haven't had one of those days in a long time, and that day would be really good for consolidation long-term, right? We need to rest, we need to build value, and then we move outside of that value. So I think today could be one of those value-building days. Watch out for some two-way trade and some chop, and it's not going to be as easy as the last 2 days, just closing your eyes and shorting a level. All right. Yesterday felt way too easy, and usually that's the cue that kind of trading is going to be over. All right. When it's too easy, when it feels that way, it's about to get harder, and the pattern changes and flips on us. All right. The flip zone today is moving lower to 6,900.04. It's all the way up here. I know it's far. Technically, you're bearish below it. It doesn't mean you can't get long. It just means a higher probability trade below that level is to be short. Where would you get short? Right here. 52 to 56 is one level. We got there with Trump's commentary. The other level is around the 80. 68.80 is another level. And then the last one would be around 88 to 90. All right. Those are your three areas of where you are looking to rejoin the downside. But remember, it's not going to be one of those super easy days. There's more chop, more noise, more volume, more volatility. I wrote this in the notes. I still believe it. Flip zone is moving lower. I'd be a bit more interested on long fades today. I'd love to see some buying the low and seeing a buy stop run happen. That's kind of my specialty. So this is why I would love to see some of them. And if I do, I'd be less apprehensive about buying that kind of structure today versus yesterday, which was just outright bearish and I was expecting extension. All right. I think a big buy stop run is coming at some point. I feel it. It's probably going to be today into the closing bell or afternoon. I don't know about morning, mid-morning, late morning buy stop run. It's possible, but that would be more bullish than I'm pricing in. I think at some point today we got a big buy stop run. So this bearish downside pressure is coming to a headwind. All right, resistance on the way up, 55 to 59 right here, right now. That's sellable. 80 to 83, that's slightly above. All right. Target lower for the ES if we do extend 68.20 we accomplished yesterday. Yesterday was like the perfect trading plan, honestly. 67.84 is next up if we get there, and if it gets ugly, 67.20, which it doesn't look like it. Here's some key stats for the day. ES had 2.396 million contracts traded yesterday. That's the highest volume since December 15th. December 18th, rather, my bad. The zero gamma level is 68.92.15. That's for the ES, not the SPX. So as we approach that 68.90, you kind of get to zero gamma. All right, we also have some call wall activity at 60, or put wall rather, at 68.33, which puts a bid into the market. So now that we're above the 33, there's a natural magnet back up to the 90. All right, 1 day implied move is 0.64%. 5 day implied move is 1.48%. And we're currently sitting on some negative gamma and some high and increasing open interest for the option expiries coming up. All right, let's see what the questions are. Good morning, Sam. Morning, Prashant. Why he isn't acknowledging? Oh, I looked at that one. Dang, I'd like to be there, but I work at night. Will it be recorded? Mikey, yeah, it's going to be recorded and made available for replay, for sure. And, you know, because you're at work, like, we can't penalize you for working, bro. We're going to give you everything you get if you're there. And the bonus is a template of Sierra charts for that webinar if you attend live. All right, OTM, so volatile. Yeah, I know. That was Trump at work. He just says that the stock market dip is peanuts and it will double. Work that they will not be able to make for workshop. Great question. It would be 2 a.m. Eastern Europe, so pretty difficult for us to join. Good morning. Yeah. I know. So we did 7 p.m. Eastern to allow the Crenshaw boys out west. I'm just kidding, but to allow out west to get in. But yeah, I didn't think about what time that is for Europe. It's a crazy time. Probably would have been better to go mid to late afternoon for that time frame. But don't worry, Europe. You're gonna have a replay. I promise you, we'll make the replay available. February 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern is the webinar. I'll see you guys there. I do have to go in the trading room. And Jammer, yeah, I'm trading live in the room right now. I'm gonna flip over to it at the moment. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. There's some volatility today from Donald Trump's Davos speech. Let's see what we get. All right. Have a great day. Love you all. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll do it again tomorrow.